Hey guys, welcome to How Money Works. I am not a financial advisor, but I'm a client who has grown a lot of money by not saving. And this is freaking awesome right now because I just found out that PowerPoint allows you to do these little subtitles. So I'm literally speaking to my microphone and it's translating what I'm saying to subtitles. Man, technology is awesome. But, anyways, today I wanted to talk about how money works. Basically, I am filming this in the midst of coronavirus, so there's a lot going on right now. And specifically, there are a lot of people losing jobs. There's a lot of businesses that are closing down for good just because, let's face it, a whole chunk of the American population are not well educated in personal finance or running businesses for that matter. So I'm just going to share what I've learned through the years because I've started my journey on personal finance, which includes things like earning, saving, investing, giving to charities, and spending since I was 18. And by that time, I was still in school. I was lucky enough to have met an advisor who was still my advisor in Canada, in Vancouver, Canada, because I'm Canadian and that's where I was born and raised. And he took the liberty to teach me how money worked free of charge. And that was something that I felt that I was very lucky to have met this person and to have gotten advice for free. Of course, it ended up with me signing up with him to have him manage my money, which was not a lot back then, but he was happy to do it to help me get started on this journey. And over the years, it's been a decade now, or even a little bit more of a decade, and I'm still working with him. And that goes to show that there are advisors out there. I think there is a stereotype that financial advisors are people who just wants to take your money away from you and leave you for the streets or something or whatever. But there are a lot of advisors out there who would offer to educate you for free because they realize the importance of having a good personal finance education or background, and they were willing to do it for free. And I think that they would educate you first, and then at some point, if you want to invest with them, you could choose to do that, which worked for me when I was 18. So this whole entire series is going to be like 10 to 13 videos hopefully, because I'm just starting doing this, and I just wanted to share with you my journey of how I got started and where I'm at now and everything that I've learned over those 10 years. It's not comprehensive, it's just a little bit of a starter to help you started. So if you're super advanced with personal finance, there might be a little bit of something that you might not know about. But if you are just new to personal finance, or you're wondering if there is something else that you could take advantage of, then I think that this series might be very beneficial for you. So stick along with the journey, and I will be happy to say that I'm gonna keep you guys entertained as possible, because some of this stuff is freaking dry, but I'm gonna try to make it fun. So look at the subtitles, man, they're amazing. So where did you learn personal finance? And if you live in the USA or Canada, where you didn't learn it is in school. School didn't teach it to us in Canada nor in America. I think that I was fortunate enough to have been really interested in how money worked since I was younger, just because I lived and grew up and was raised in a low income family, so money was always tight. And I'm gonna save that story for a little bit later, but we didn't learn it in school, so where else are we gonna learn it? Money needs to be studied, and we really live in a culture that shuns talking about money. How do you study it if you don't talk about it? And I just have this little money radio here. I don't know who they are, but I just found an image on Google, and that really just makes the point for me because for every single subject that we have in high school, like physics or math or chemistry, you know, we have a teacher, we have classes where they have a teacher teach it to us. That's where we learn about cosine and sines or curves or gravity and E equals mc squared. We learn all that stuff in school, and that's mandatory. But personal finance, there isn't a class for that. Well, when I was in high school, there was not a class for personal finance. There was accounting, and that was it actually. There was accounting. And there was accounting too, probably. But those were the only kind of money related courses. There was no personal finance, which is such a shame because a lot of people just graduate high school and they go to university, they start getting their first credit cards, and they do not know how money works, they do not know how credit works, how interest rates work, and how if you use a credit card and you don't pay it back, you're getting hit with heavy interest rates. And that's how the credit card companies make money. So we live in that kind of culture, and I think that's not just US or Canada. I think a lot of the westernized countries like Australia also have the same kind of situation. So we're all in this together. That's why people freak out when coronavirus happens and the world shuts down. I'm just saying it straight. I mean, a lot of people have businesses that they're running, and those businesses need to run. If the businesses shut down, that means their cash flow, their one source of income is cut. That means that they're gonna die. And during this time when I'm filming this, a lot of businesses are just not gonna make it. But on the positive side, there's just gonna be a lot of new businesses that are gonna spring up, like Slack and Zoom. I think they were made in 2008, 2009 when there was the global financial crisis. So same thing is happening. A lot of people who don't know how money works, they're in for a ride, and not a fun ride at that. So we need to study money, and that's what this entire course is about. So a lot of people think it's okay to live without emergency funds, and I want you to write this down because it's super important. I want you to write down that I must have 6 months emergency funds just in case the unexpected happens. So the coronavirus pandemic, that is an unexpected event. Nobody knew that it was gonna pop out of nowhere and hit us. Well, maybe China knew, and they just decided not to tell anybody. But jokes aside, nobody knew when that was gonna hit us. And unexpected events happen. If you get a flat while you're driving down the highway, that's an unexpected event. And if you don't get paid a lot and you don't have an emergency fund, that's gonna be trouble for you because you need your car to get to work if you live in the States and you drive everywhere. But if you get a flat and you don't have money to fix it, then that car is rendered useless and you can't get to work, you can't make money. And that's just a pain in the butt. So having that emergency fund 6 months will cover you for whenever something bad happens that you didn't expect to happen. So for 6 months, that's like 2 quarters, 2 financial quarters or 2 fiscal quarters. And when a recession happens, what we call a recession is when there are 2 quarters where the economy is just not doing good, where they're posting negatives. I'm not going to go into details, but in a depression, that's when we have four quarters. So basically, during the entire year, there's high unemployment rates, people are not working, and that's when we're in a depression. So in these cases, I just want you to have 6 months emergency fund in order to last you, to give you that peace of mind that when something unexpected happens, you got 6 months of income or 6 months of emergency funds to figure something out. And 6 months, I think, is enough time. When I quit my last job, because quite frankly, my project manager at the last job was an asshole and I did not like him at all. So that's why I quit. Every single day, it was just me waking up, and feeling like I'm walking on eggshells because there was so much micromanaging involved, and I'm that type of person that don't like to be micromanaged, much like a lot of people I think in this day and age. So that just didn't really make me feel good. I struggled waking up in the morning every morning for work. I was not looking forward to it, so I quit. So I quit with $10,000 in my bank account, and that lasted me for a good 5 months, and I was literally about to run dry on my money, on my cash reserves, and have to move back in with my parents until I got the job where I'm at now. So that was the life-saving job, and that was literally the job that put me in the US. And literally at that time I had $10,000 to last me for as long as I can last me to. And at the end of month five, it was around the end of month five when things were looking pretty tight because I was down to my like last 2,000, and I literally had one more month to get something together. And luckily enough, I had a job offer that would put me in the States for about a 75 grand annual salary in US dollars, which is freaking phenomenal because I was earning like $50,000 Canadian way back then in Canada as a software engineer, which equates to around like I want to say 35 to 40 grand US dollars. And I'm just gonna be quite honest. I'm not giving you these numbers just to brag or anything. I'm just giving you something concrete and specific to show you where I'm coming from, because I feel like a lot of examples, when people talk about being vulnerable with themselves and with their with their numbers and stuff like that, they don't talk about the specifics of what happened. And it's really the specifics of what happened that gives us benchmarks, that gives us like an idea of how things will work out. That's how it is for me. So when you're talking about like numbers, just tell me that like, okay, I can earn 6% of 6% return on investment on my money if I invest 10,000 with you. So that's like what, $600. So give me something concrete like that, then it'll make everything all right. But people don't like to make things concrete, is what I found, and that just makes things a waste of time. So I'm just giving you numbers, and I will keep on giving you numbers just to give you like a concrete vision or an idea of where I was at. So with all that ranting done, write it down. I must have 6 months emergency fund just in case the unexpected happens. All right, let's move on. So a lot of people are going to be telling you what to do with your money. Think about Uber Eats and DoorDash. If they didn't exist, you wouldn't use them. I'm living with roommates right now because it saves me a lot of cash. I'm single, but literally I have a roommate and they spend every day buying McDonald's, and because they don't have a car, they get Uber Eats to deliver it to them every single day for lunch. So it's at least one time, and I think Uber Eats is around like $3 delivery fee. So I'm not even talking about like 5 days, guys. I'm talking about like a week, every single day. So when we're talking about what, like $3-4 for delivery, so $3 times 7 days, that's $21 every single week just on delivery because they don't have a car. And I'm gonna tell you something to make this even worse. We live like 10 minutes walking distance from McDonald's where my roommate orders her food from. It's freaking, I know what you're thinking right now. It's crazy, but I have no words for it. I mean, it's literally, you're gonna pay like 2 days of delivery fee equals a meal from McDonald's, or a full meal from McDonald's, I think. I don't eat McDonald's, but if Uber Eats didn't exist, they would probably be walking to McDonald's in order to buy their fast food, buy that garbage that they eat. If anybody likes McDonald's, and I'm calling it garbage, don't be offended, but I do think it's garbage. Even though sometimes I would treat myself to a McChicken because I'm craving a burger, and it's like what, $1.50, and I'm like, I worked out for a good 2 weeks straight. I deserve this. But anyways, just go on saying that there's a lot of people telling you what to do with your money, and Uber Eats and DoorDash are one of them. I think DoorDash is even worse. I think they're like $6 for a delivery fee. So if they didn't exist, you wouldn't use them. You would save more money for yourself, and that's basically the story. So don't even get me started on Netflix. I think it's the biggest waste of money and the biggest time sink ever. I don't watch TV and shows anymore because I just think they're a waste of time where I could be investing in myself, but Netflix is just a time sink. And I'm gonna make it worse. Think about the investors in these businesses, and think about you as a consumer. If you're a consumer, if you're an investor, then you could probably fit into both categories if you're also using Netflix and Uber Eats and DoorDash. But if you're an investor in these businesses, you are making money while you're sleeping. And if you're a consumer, you're losing money when you sleep because you're not consuming the service that you bought. If you have a Netflix subscription and you're sleeping while that subscription is on and you can't turn it off, you're blowing your money. That's the end of it. And while you're blowing your money, the investor who invested in Netflix is happy sleeping that they know that they're taking money out of your pocket while you're both sleeping. And that investor could be your neighbor. Think about that. Think about how that makes you feel. So that's not to say that you have to cancel Netflix or something, but if you have Netflix and you have Hulu and you have Amazon Prime, then I would cancel Hulu because I need Prime to ship things to my house because I'm an Amazon whore. I seriously spend way too much money on Amazon buying products. Like this backdrop and this camera that I'm filming at, this Yeti microphone, all from Amazon. So I'm a sucker for Amazon. But those are one-time fees because I buy them one time and it's not a subscription. I don't have to pay them every month. On Hulu, on Netflix, you're paying them every month. So I would really think twice about if I really need them. If it's for something important like Netflix and chill, please keep it. It's good for you. But otherwise, that's all I want to rant about. I know some of them are necessary, like your phone and internet bill, but I would just want you to think about, are they all necessary? If you're on a phone plan, you could likely get a cheaper plan and have everything that you need and want it in that cheaper plan and save you a couple dollars. And over a year, that'll add up to quite a bit of money. So think about it. I want you to make a list of all your subscriptions, all your recurring monthly expenses, and I want you to just see which ones you can get rid of and save a couple bucks and put them back in your pocket. So I want you to take that as an exercise and do that. And with that, now we have a story. How to learn about money. But I'm going to leave that for the next episode to keep you guys entertained. For now, I want you to please rate, comment, subscribe on this video to give me feedback on if you like these videos, if you don't, what I can do better on to make these more entertaining. And if you're interested, you can go and click the link below. That'll lead you to our newsletter where you can sign up and get some freebies that we will go through and that you can use to help further plan how you would use your money, where you would invest in based on interest rates and all that stuff, and get tips and advice from myself and my financial advisor as we see things develop in the world and in the markets. But other than that, you can go ahead and do that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Listen to these subtitles, they're awesome, aren't they?